On today's episode of Wholesale Daily, we're talking about real estate.
Are you a real estate seminar junkie? That's the topic. That's Corey's best
Nice.
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd crack into a topic that is very dear to our heart and many people, which is getting addicted to the real estate seminar bandwagon effect. There's pros and cons of this, and we're going to talk about that today and talk about how you can have an optimal strategy of information implementation and not just be on a revolving door of real estate seminars. And this is important because if you're seeing this video right now and you're thinking, I don't need this. Well,
Yeah.
you might find yourself a year later, this exact same spot you are.
Yep.
And ask yourself the question right now, you're watching this video, where were you 2 months ago, 3 months ago? Are you where you want to be making the progress you want to make? So let's dive into that. I'm Dustin.
I'm Corey.
We're the Wholesale Daily Show,
Yeah.
bringing you information, tips, and tricks on wholesaling, virtual real estate investing, tax, lien, and deed investing. Last year we did about 60 deals. We do a lot of this stuff virtually, and we kind of share our journey and give you the tips that we're extracting on this stuff as we succeed and burn to the ground sometimes. And yeah, that just reminded me, we'll have to do an episode and tell them we bought a property for 10 grand that the city deemed as a nuisance, and we just sold it for what, $200?
We made $200. We sold it for $1,000.
Okay, we sold it for $1,000. So we'll talk about that in an upcoming episode.
little
But
note down there.
that is the reverse order of how you want to do things.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. But that's the fun part, is we share with you our lessons as we turn and burn every now and then as we're learning.
Seems
So
to be quite often this month.
sometimes, yeah, we
Yeah.
play aggressive. Sometimes we
Yeah.
play a little too loose, and it gets us. But if you're new to the channel, we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. Hit us a thumbs up if you enjoy this content. And at the end, we'll give you a free copy of our real estate wholesale contract that we've spent over $1,000 to get set up. So, real estate seminar junkie syndrome. And what does it mean to be a real estate seminar junkie? What it means is that you go to seminar after seminar after seminar and you're not implementing.
Yeah.
If you're going to 1 or 2 or 3 events a year, or even like your local RIA meeting every single month, then there's nothing wrong with that. Where we see the problem with so many people is just getting on that conveyor belt of seminar after seminar. Like I know this last weekend was Wholesale Elite Seminar in Dallas with Max Maxwell guy, and that looked freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to have gone to that.
Yeah.
And next year, hopefully, we can all go.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a bit tricky traveling for us that far.
Yeah.
But you need to really have a game plan, because there's a lot of really good information out there. But the problem, I call it seminar land. And when you go to a real estate seminar, it's super exciting because everybody's all up on stage. They're showing you their highlight reel of what they've done, and that's great. But you have speaker A that comes in and gives you a tactic. From there, you have speaker B, C, D, and by the end of the weekend, there might be 10 speakers that have come in, and depending on the type of seminar, if it's like a legit content seminar, which I'm pretty sure the We Live seminar was, you're going to be having people that are sharing things with you and not exactly polishing things so that, hey, we did all this and you can do it too if you buy our course type thing. Because there's generally 2 types of real estate seminars. You have the Pitch Fest, which is like a 2 or 3 day or 1 day event where It's just speaker after speaker talking for like 1 hour at a time. And they give you some good value in there, but the missing piece is in the course that you have to go and then buy. So a lot of the courses are good, but the problem is you go to this event and then you buy like 5 courses or 2 courses. And you went to the real estate event because that was the course you thought you wanted, but then you get there and then it's like, oh, but actually get this and this. And sometimes that can be very, very annoying. Well, most of the time it can be very annoying. So the real estate seminar land syndrome kicks in at both types of events, at pitch fests and at content events. And here's what it is. When you go to a real estate seminar, a lot of the times you're staying in the hotel, you're out, you're networking, you're having fun, you're going for drinks out in the evening, you're making new friends, and you totally forget that you have this life and obligation at home. So you forget about that, and you're at this event, and all of a sudden you're thinking about, yeah, this is awesome. I'm excited. I'm gonna do wholesaling. I'm gonna do cold calling. From there, this guy talked on commercial real estate. That was pretty sweet. From there was another guy that came and is talking about Airbnb. Oh, that's really good. I can do that too. And then you got to build your Instagram and your Facebook following. You got to start a YouTube. And then you got to document it all, like Gary Vee. And then what else is out there? Oh, there's Twitch stream and Twitter. Oh, you got to have your Twitter account. That's got to be going, right?
Twitter's big.
Then from there, you have this big list, and you're excited and you're pumped up. But then you get home and, okay, things pile up because you've been away. Your email piles up. Your actual obligations pile up. You forget that you need to cut the lawn, get the oil change in the car, help the wife or house or husband with whatever obligations that have piled up there. And you're like, okay, I got my sweet real estate notes, but I'm just going to get caught up on life, just a couple days, and then I'm going to hit it, right? And from there, it's all fine and dandy. You finally maybe get a little bit caught up. It takes you a little bit more time than you thought. You go, you sit down, you have this huge list, and you're overwhelmed, and you're kind of like, holy cow. So, let me just turn on the computer. Let's get there. Turn on the computer, and then stupid Google Chrome, which is a great browser, says, you have 5 notifications. This person has a new video. This person, maybe I'll just check out this video.
Yeah.
And then from there, you're down the rabbit hole. 30, 40 minutes go by, 2 hours go by, you haven't implemented your stuff. However, during your YouTube escapade, you found something else that seems kind of cool. So you investigate that. And you end up having basically a rabbit hole and little touch points of information on a whole bunch of different things, but you haven't actually went deep in anything. And the Seminar Junkie goes years on this stuff. And to be honest, a lot of people, they don't ever make it out of the Seminar Junkie junkyard. They are stuck. They get stuck there, and they don't ever get out. Because going deep on a topic is painful. It's painful because you're going to do everything, and you're going to implement everything that's happening, and you're going to hit a roadblock. Maybe you spend $2,000 and send out 4,000 postcards, and all of a sudden your phone rang, but you didn't get a deal out of that. And then you're like, oh, what the heck? The guy said if I pulled the absentee owner list that I would get a deal. And then you didn't get a deal, and then that's discouraging. It's crushing. From there, maybe you skip trace, do some cold calling. You realize how hard that is, talking on the phone, especially if you're not a phone person, right? Yeah. And then that gets hard. And then maybe you have a deal, somebody calls, you get a first-time home visit, you show up, and then they ghost on you or they cancel, and then you can't get a hold of them. These are all things in the day in the life of investor. Or then you get the property under contract and you try to get your buyers in, and then you have a guy, like we just had a guy who was going to give us full price for a contract, but then he had, he wanted all of these conditions, like 14-day inspection. He wanted a refundable earnest money deposit. All of these things, they were just like, nah, this guy's not a qualified, you want to go buy something from a realtor, not us. And there's just this never-ending thing. And what's a good way I can explain this? So on my pedal bike, I've been doing wheelies on my pedal bike since I was a little kid. I can do a pop a wheelie on a pedal bike as long as I want, pretty much. Like I can go in circles, round and round.
It's impressive.
I can do a 20-minute pop a wheelie if I want. And when I look at the average population, they can't do. Corey,
I can't.
What's a wheelie like on a bike?
For me, a wheelie is just a frustrating experience where I want to smash my bike into a wall. And I've tried it, but it's like,
Right?
it's just like, for me, it's like up and then down, and then up and then down.
Like it seems impossible.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But because I've been doing it now for, since I was 30 years, there's this beautiful sweet spot on the bike that is like the most peaceful land to play in on a wheelie. Like you're hardly putting in any effort, but you're just coasting on your back tire, just riding around. Like it's a beautiful experience.
Nice.
And the reason I'm able to do that is because I've fallen over probably at this point millions of times in each direction, that I can spot it before it happens and just make a little micro correction and just stay in that sweet spot. And unfortunately, when you see people making videos online that are really killing it, they're in that sweet spot. They're navigating because they've went left and right and back and forth hundreds of times over and over again, that it looks easy. And man, sometimes like we did like 60 deals last year or more, and we're by no means in that sweet spot. We're still like, if we're doing a wheelie on a bike, we're still like, you know what I mean? Like we're still flopping a lot.
So much.
And that's kind of a way to explain it. So to get out of the real estate seminar junkyard junkland, you're going to need to just double down and pick something and go with it. Only do that. Economies of scale are nice. And what I mean by that is like, if you are pulling a county list of tax liens, delinquent tax liens, or if it's a tax deed state and you're cold calling and sending them mail, then you definitely still want to go to the tax deed auction because you're already researching them anyway. So that's a nice economy of scale. And economy of scale means you can have like a 2 or 3x result by using the system you're currently using and just using that same system to basically get you more results. I don't know if that was a good example of it.
It's kind of like if you think like if you're trying to wholesale in like 6 different states at once and you got all these things and all this stuff, it's like that's going to not be as productive as you really figuring out one state or even 2 states that are close by that have similar rules. Yeah. So you want to focus on the things that's going to be simple, that you can build up. It's going to produce more income instead of being spread out across the country. Yeah. So what to take away from this? Basically, it comes back down to our tried, tested, and true formula. Is basically 1 part information, 2 to 3 parts. Yeah. Corey, rock the camera.
Oh, sorry guys.
Bump the camera.
So 1 part information, 2 to 3 parts implementation. So you watch this video for the last 10 minutes, that means you should have 20, 30 minutes of implementation in your business. And that could be go for a walk, look for rundown houses, get the address, leave a sticky note on their door, stuff like that. Yeah. So we're here to help you out. We know wholesaling is hard, and we, as a gift, thank you for watching. We'd like to give you a copy of our wholesale contract that we have put, I think we spent like $1,000 with the attorney getting it tuned up. Don't use this exactly. Take it to an attorney in your city and have him look it over and add whatever you need to. And it's very comprehensive. Check it out. There's a link below. You can go get that thing for free. Help you out a bit. And hit that subscribe button. Podcasters, for you folks, just go to modernrei.com. Should be up. Yep. And you can get it there. And we'll see you next.